So we have a little bit of trouble. We have been installing our horse waterers, and you can see we've got a bunch of dug up ground up through here. There's another water 500 feet up here, and we've dug all the water lines for it, but we weren't able to put them all in and get water in them and all that. But now, as you can see, this one is out of the ground, and this one was in the ground very solid. But where we have been having so much rain, it has caused the ground to settle and the water to run in the ditches that were dug for the water lines, because that's the softest ground. So that's where the water is going to run. And so then our hole for our water filled up and then floated our water out of there. We're also going to have to do something with all the water congregating in this spot. So I'm hoping that this isn't full of mud also down in there, and it's just mainly watered. I can kind of pump it out and we can reuse the hole and not really have to reset this thing so much. So that's what we're going to try anyways, and we're just going to see how it works. I've got my water lines hooked up, so I am going to have to try to disconnect that probably and move that thing out of the way. But this is going to kind of be a little trial and error situation here to try to see what works and what doesn't work. I don't have a fancy pump, but what I do have is a little pump that runs off of the battery drill. I'm going to try that first before I run an electric pump out here, because I don't really have a good battery source or anything. It's supposed to pump 900 gallons per hour, so it really shouldn't take too awful long to pump this out with a drill. I'm going to try it and see how it does, and then if that don't work, maybe use a little electric pump or something hooked to a battery. Okay, so that didn't work out too well. I've been trying that drill and the pump for a while. Could not get it to prime. I don't know if it doesn't have enough suction to really just get it primed good, but I filled the hose full of water and, tried to get it down to the pump and then hit the trigger, and I could get it to squirt out the water out of the hose, but it wouldn't suck water out of the hole. So now we've got our little battery electric pump, and I've got it hooked up to the tractor, and I've run out of reach on my power cord. I'm going to fill the inlet hose up with water, and then I'm going to hit the switch, and hopefully it'll pull enough suction to start pulling the water. Once it starts, it'll be good. I'll be able to keep prime on it, but it's just getting that initial prime. So we got our little pump finally going pretty good. And as you can see, the hole's getting shallower, but it's taking us a little bit of time because I think this pump doesn't have enough suction to pull this up and out of the hole. So then what we did was run a really long hose way down over the hole, way down over the hill, so that you essentially can just siphon it out, with gravity. But the hole is about 5 feet deep, and I want to make sure that we have enough suction to be able to get all of it out. So that hose should be about 5 feet below, or about a little bit below the bottom of this hole, I'm trying to say. We'll see. I've got the hose rested up here on my forks right now, which is a little bit high. I'm going to have to lower it down here in just a second. But the reason I was doing this is because I'm trying to keep the hose over in the center of the hole, because I don't know how much mud is washed in from the sides, and I don't want to stop it up with mud. So I'm going to kind of keep moving this stuff around a little bit. So I got all this hole pumped out, and it is still filling back up from all the ditch back through here, where the water now is seeping through the ground, and this is the lowest point. So even though I had it pumped all the way down to the dirt pretty much on the inside of that pipe, now it is all seeping down and filling back up. I don't know exactly what to do for a solution to this, other than dig another ditch that starts the same height as the bottom of this pipe and run it out all the way across through here to where that it can then come out of the ground at the same point pretty much as what this pipe is to let this drain. We'll have to talk to the excavating company and see what they think, and kind of look at things and evaluate where we're at, and to see what the cost of fixing this is going to be. But from what I can tell, the real main issue here, top of the hill, this runs downhill all the way to the point of this waterer. We don't have anywhere else that we can put the waterer, because it has to be to where it will serve the pasture on the right and the left both. So we have to put it in the middle of the fence line pretty much. And all the way out here where our other waterer is, way out on top of the hill, that one doesn't have any problem because it's out on top of the hill. But then the ditch even runs downhill from the waterer, and it runs downhill actually all the way to where we're currently at with this waterer. So any of the new water's in this soft ditch, and it's just channeling right through that stuff and then coming to this low point and then floating our water out of the ground. So this is really annoying that this is going on, but I'm sure there's a fix to it. So if you all know a fix to it, leave that in the comments below of what you think can be done to solve this issue of that thing floating out of the ground. So thanks for following along, and we'll see you next time.